child. Come here, child. Hi, buddy. Okay. Get out of here. Maybe I should go get Pip. Hi everybody, I'm back again today with another video. Of course, I'm still not on a regular schedule for videos yet. I need kind of some more ideas and a good flow to be able to get on an actual schedule to upload weekly or something like that, but I'm trying the best that I can right now. I did get a request for a hedgehog diet video, like a good diet for a hedgehog, duh. And I do have Pip in here today. Oh my god, Louie, I'm so sorry, buddy. I just hit him in the face. I do have Pip in here today. He's still in his little carrier. I just got home, oh my god, I keep hitting you in the face. I just got home like an hour ago, so that's why I'm still not completely unpacked, not even my hedgehog. But I was gonna get him out now. Louie is so intrigued. Louie, get your face out of there. You need to leave. So today I'm going to be talking about a hedgehog diet, a good staple food to give your hedgehog every day because, because common knowledge is that you should not be feeding your hedgehog. It's going to be okay. Ow! You don't ever get used to that. I don't care what anyone says. You don't get used to it. Pip! Hello, bud. Alrighty. I do have Pip. He's here. He's awake. He's pretty grumpy. Louie's intrigued and staring. But okay. Anyways, back on topic. I'm going to be talking about a staple hedgehog diet for your hedgehog because I didn't really get very in-depth with a bunch of different brands and different things that you could go about getting your hedgehog because the common myth is that you should not be feeding your hedgehog actual hedgehog food. Now that may or may not be true whether or not you believe it because it's kind of all up on opinion and whatever. I fed my last hedgehog, Arwen, I fed her actual hedgehog food called Spikes Ultra. It looks like this. I bought it online for $12 and it lasted me forever and I only had to buy it like 3 times before she passed away, I think. And I never really saw much problems with it. I mean, she had cancer, that's how she died. So there's so many factors that Louie, what the actual Louie just took Pippin's sleeping bag and ran away. Louie, get back. I mean, there's so much with cancer. It's like you can't directly link the hedgehog food was the problem with cancer because hedgehogs are so prone to getting cancer. So this video, I just made my own little list of the most trusted brands that I think is best to give your hedgehog for food every day. And I don't know if I really want to include Spikes Ultra. I've heard good and bad things about it, and that's what I used. So I'll just throw that in here by word. Like, I don't know. My last hedgehog died of cancer. I fed it Spikes Ultra. I don't know if that has anything to do with it whatsoever, but I might as well just throw it out there. What? Oh my goodness, this is my most interrupted video I've ever filmed. Okay, I have a few names for you guys for the hedgehog food / cat food that you should be using. If you want to use hedgehog food, I mean, yeah, I can't stop you. I just don't recommend it. I haven't really seen many people who do recommend it, so that's why I switched. As soon as I got a new hedgehog, I switched him, or started him on cat food instead of hedgehog food, because I figured it's probably healthier and has a much more nutritious diet in it. Like, it actually has things in there that like hedgehogs would be eating over what is in hedgehog food, because what's in hedgehog food I have found is mainly fillers and like corn and like all this other stuff, and it's really not the greatest thing. So I would always stick to a really good cat food brand. And what's even great about cat food is that you can find coupons for cat food like everywhere all the time. Like, I'm getting Petco, PetSmart, everything, all these coupons literally all the time in the mail and on my email, and so it's always like $5 off or 20% off this or that, and it's just easier to get discounted items when you go through the cat food way. So yeah, it's all around cheaper. I honestly think, especially if you like buy your Hedgehog food online, you have to pay for the shipping and you have to pay for the Hedgehog food. So in the end, it costs like 20 bucks. And the food that I use for Pippin, what is this even called? It's called Naturally Complete Whole Earth Farms Grain-Free Recipe with Real Chicken. I think this cost me like no more than $15. No, I think this is $9.99 actually, because this is the small bag and this is all he needs because he is really small. I have 2 of these because I actually left this one here at home and I needed to buy one in my college town. So I have 2 of them. Still haven't finished either of them. This is about halfway, or like it has like a fourth left of it, and my other one is about halfway. So I don't know, he really seems to like it. The pieces are small. Always go for small pieces when it comes to buying your food, but this is what I use and I think it works great with Pippin. He likes it. So this is my #1 recommended one just because I'm biased and because I use it. But this is what it looks like, kind of folded up. It's in a yellow bag. It's got the chicken. And one of the main things you actually really want to look at when looking for Hedgehog food, if you don't want this or whatever, is the ingredients. Always look at the ingredients and the amount of nutrition that is also in your Hedgehog food. Like, let's see. Yeah, if you look on the side here, it says crude protein, minimum 35%. You don't want any more protein. God. If you look at the side, you can find your nutrients facts and your ingredients facts. And the basic rule is to want high protein, low fat. You don't want too high protein and you also don't want too low fat. So you need to be within this like range. So the protein on here has 35% minimum, and I would probably not go anywhere over. What are you doing? And I would definitely not go over that at all. I would go under it within like 5% or so, but it's really 35% is, it works great with him. Louis, what do you have? No. 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 For your fat, this is 12%. I think 12% is the best and safest one to kind of range around. I used to have Hedgehog food that had 8% fat, and I think that was a little low. I probably wouldn't go underneath 10%, over 15. So I think 12 is the perfect happy medium. And this is just my opinion, but I've had experience with some hedgehogs. And you could always like look up your own information too, but this is just my experience and what I use, and I think this is absolutely perfect for him. And also, if you look at the ingredients, there, I gotta do this. In the ingredients, the very first ingredient is chicken meal. So it actually has some kind of meat at the very first ingredient. You want to make sure that you're not buying byproduct. That is the nasty parts of all the chicken and animal and, oh my, stop. No. You want to make sure that you don't get byproducts, which is the nasty portions of the animal or the meat that is in your food. So the first ingredient here is chicken meal, and then turkey meal, and then dried potatoes, peas, chicken fat, pea protein, natural flavor. Like it's just better, but I'm not seeing any byproduct whatsoever in here. And it's also grain free, so that's good too. I always shoot for grain free and byproduct free, just so it's better for my hedgehog altogether. Because if I wouldn't eat it, I wouldn't want my hedgehog eating it. As in, I would not be wanting eating like the crushed up bones and gross parts of chickens that humans don't eat, because we don't eat them for a reason. So I don't want my animals to be eating them either. So this is my favorite one, and I'll go through a list of other ones too. One brand that I do trust to a minimum is Blue Buffalo. I know they've had a history of having ingredients in their food being like not very consistent, so there could be problems within like their digestive system if they're super sensitive, but I know that's with dogs. So I don't know about their cat food. I haven't used Blue Buffalo, but I know it is a good and very accredited brand, so I would still say that it's okay to buy their cat food for your hedgehog. And another one is the weight control formula that looks like this. Like the weight control formula is going to have a lower amount of fat in it, which is obviously good for your hedgehog because hedgehogs can gain weight very easily. Louise, stop it. Hedgehogs can gain weight really easily and become obese, and that makes it really hard for your hedgehog to live and waddle around, and they can't fall up, and it just makes being a hedgehog really hard for a hedgehog. Another brand that I really like is Natural Balance. Again, you want to look at your ingredients. I believe I actually used to use Natural Balance with Pippin. I didn't start him on this one. And the only reason why I switched him was because I was running out of my food and I forgot what it was called. So I went to the pet store and I found this food and I gradually mixed them together and weaned him off that and put him on this. And what I'm using now is cheaper anyways. I remember, but I believe it was Natural Balance that I used. I really liked it. It had really low fat, really high protein, not too high, not too low, obviously, because I would still be using it too if I could find it again, but he's already on this food now. But these natural, like these right here, I'll put a little collage right here, are really good options to choose for your hedgehog. So yeah, I highly recommend those. I've personally used those too. I think. I could possibly be lying, I will tell you in my editing. And I actually just looked a few up too, what other people have said on like hedgehogcentral.com, which is a really good source of information if you want to ask questions, if you want to post a forum or something like that. I have an account too. And I have learned so much from other people on that website. So I pulled up a few, and one person said Merrick before grain #1 chicken. I have actually never heard of that before. I'll put a picture right here, just you know, so you could know what it looks like, but I actually don't know if I've heard of that. I may or may not have. But another good brand that I know on the top of my head that I've also used on my hedgehog, I believe I used this on Arwen actually, before she died. It's gold something. Let me look it up. It's called Solid Gold, that's what it was. And I actually did really like this brand. They had a really appealing front, like, packaging too. Like, oh my, they had really appealing packaging, which is kind of what drew me to it, not gonna lie, because it's very vibrant colors and pretty. And then I took it off the shelf and I looked at a few of them, and it actually fit really well within like the hedgehog like requirements for your food. And I believe I used a fish-based protein, and with my experience and also with the experience of other people and their opinions on this, fish-based protein for hedgehogs is not the best way to go because it kind of makes them smelly or smellier than what they might already be. Because I remember Arwen was getting to be pretty smelly after I switched her food, and I was wondering what the problem was. And it was because I had Pollock, that's what it was, Pollock in her cat food, and this is what it looked like. So I wouldn't recommend getting any fish-based protein. Make sure it's still in the percentages, but I would always veer towards the chicken and turkey. Always have a meat-based protein. Try not to go for like potatoes and peas and stuff like that. You want your base to be meat because these guys are insectivores and they are used to like that meat, and that's what they need. So, and it's going to have a higher protein too if it is a meat-based food. But I do remember Solid Gold being slightly more pricey, I believe, and that's where your coupons would come into play if you really did want to use Solid Gold. I don't know, I did like it until I found out the smelly problem, and then I found my new foods and they were cheaper, and like my hedgehogs like them. The pieces were small, because sometimes if you get cat food and the pieces are too big, you don't want your hedgehog to choke on them, and that's kind of scary. And sometimes I would literally cut the pieces up with like a big butcher knife and put them in the bowl like every single night. Like, I don't know, I was just really scared that any of my hedgehogs would choke on their food because it was too big. So yeah, I'd always watch them. Always keep your eye on them. God, why can't I get used to this? I've had hedgehogs for like 2 years. So thank you guys for watching my video. It might be a little rambly and a little jumbly and not very organized. I kind of just did this on the top of my head. It was a request from somebody who wanted to know more about a hedgehog's diet. But always do your research on whatever you're wanting to buy. Make sure it's exactly what you want because you want to keep your hedgehog on that food. You don't want to switch them around so often. I know it kind of sounded like that's what I did, but I promise that's not really it's not what it sounds like. But you want to try to stay as consistent. My camera stopped recording for some reason. You want to try and stay as consistent as you can with your hedgehog food, just so it's better for their little tummies and their little digestive system, and it's not so hard on them, and they're not always having diarrhea or whatever. But yeah. But thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a like. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you could leave comments, give me a like, subscribe, that'd be great. And yeah, keep the requests coming because I really appreciate them, because I actually really enjoy doing those. So yeah, thanks for watching.